Hello and welcome to the Discover History YouTube channel, and hopefully you're having a really relaxing Sunday afternoon. And what we're doing today is a craft. If you remember, we asked you to get some paper, probably about 15 centimeters square, so try and make sure it is a square. It's easier to do this with a square than a rectangle. You need some scrap paper. That's going to be just rolled up really, as you will find out in a moment. You need string and something to cut the string with. So what we're going to make today is a toy that was around in at least the 16th century. No one really knows where this toy originates from. It probably went back to at least ancient times. Most toys actually do. They've obviously evolved, they've changed, and what I've got here is a replica one made out of wood, and this is the type that would have been played with in the 16th century and definitely in the 17th century. And in yesterday's video about the Great Fire of London, we were talking about everything being made out of wood. Huge amounts of toys were made out of wood right up to relatively the modern age, until plastic took over really. So this is cup and ball, and all you need to do is get the ball in the cup, and it takes a lot of skill, and I can guarantee if I demonstrate it now I will not be able to get it in. I'll give it a go anyway. No, told you. I could be here all day and we haven't got that long. The key is to keep the cup as flat as possible and only swing the ball gently. And if you're lucky and you watch the two, it should go in. So we're not going to be able to get outside and get carving wood and using sharp tools in a shed. What we're going to do is make a paper one, and there's a simple way of making it. So first of all, you need your square of paper. 15 centimeters is actually a good size square really. If you want to make one bigger than that, you can. It actually makes it easier the bigger the actual square. If you make a really small square, it's going to make a really small cupping ball, which is going to make it really difficult to do. So we take our square of paper. As I said, doesn't really matter what size, but don't make it too big. And what we're going to do is fold it corner to corner. So we're going to do this. So obviously take a bit more care than I am. I haven't got a table to do this on. So you should end up with something like that. That's the first part of it. So you've made yourself a nice little triangle from folding the squares across. Now what we next need to do is take the corner of the folded edge. This is the open edge. So the open edge is now at the top. The corner of this folded edge we need to bring up so it points to that side. So that should be flat. It should be straight across at the top, which will mean that side is now cut at an angle like that. And we do the same to the other side. So we take the corner that's the fold, not the open top, the corner where it's folded, and we go up, making sure it's level across like that. Hopefully everyone's done that bit. So we folded our paper across. We've then taken the folded corner, not the open top, but the folded corner, and we go up so it's a straight line there, and we do the same that way. So you should end up with a funny shape like that. Now the problem with that is it will not stay together. So we need to take the top here, notice it now looks like a little bag, and we fold the one corner over that side like this, and we fold the other corner over that side. So we should now end up with something like that. And if we hold it like I am and then open it, what we've actually created is a cup. And like I said, 15 centimetre square will make a cup that big. The bigger the paper, obviously the bigger the cup, but that's going to be making it too easy. And if we compare it with the old cups and balls, they're not that big. So you do need quite a small piece of paper. Now the next bit is the tricky part, and this is where the scissors come in useful as well. turn the cup so it's upside down. So if we had a drink in it, it'll all be over the floor now. Take some scissors. Now, if you're a child, make sure you've got a parent helping with this one. Even if you're an adult, be very careful with this one. Now, all I would suggest is to very carefully poke a hole in the top. And it doesn't need to be that big. It's a tiny little hole. That's all you need going into there. Which, when we turn it back up the right way, it's a hole in the bottom of the cup. If you want to, you could place this on a table, take some blue tack or plasticine, and you can punch a hole that way as well. I always find it's easier just to be very careful and punch a hole upwards, making sure your hands are out of the way. You haven't got them on the top, you've got them at the side, so there's nothing for those scissors to come in contact with. Then we take our string. We need to cut a length of string, probably about that long. You don't need it too long, so we're going to cut some string at that required length. The longer the string, by the way, the more difficult it is, trust me. And then what we do is tie a knot, a big knot in the one end. So we have to do a nice big knot. It doesn't matter what type you want to use for a knot, just make sure you end up with a big knot at the bottom. It's quite an important thing because that has to go into the cup and it's got to stay inside the cup. So we take our cup again and we take our bit of string with the knot at the bottom and we carefully feed that bit of string through until the knot goes to the bottom like that. So we've now got a cup with a little bit of string on the top. Then we take our scrap paper. Easy job this is, any bits of scrap paper. Roll it up into a ball like I've done just there, and then we have to tie the string around the ball, and this has to be pretty tight because what you don't want to do is pull or throw up the ball and the ball comes flying off, because that would be absolutely useless. So we knot the ball to the string like that. Now once you've tied it in the middle, I always find it's even better now to tighten the paper around it so it's really tight, so even if the string does come undone, it won't actually go flying off in all directions. So really squeeze that ball tightly together. So we now have our cup, our string and our ball. In other words, cup and ball. Yes, it's not quite a wooden one, but it's the closest you can get in your home without having to go and do a bit of carpentry. And as we said, the aim of this game is to swing the ball into the cup. Keep the cup as flat as possible. Keep an eye on the ball. Always keep an eye on the ball. If you play cricket, rounders, netball, anything, always watch the ball. And if you watch the ball and keep the cup flat, it should hopefully go into the cup like that. I got there in the end, amazingly. Practice makes perfect. This is a toy that you can actually spend hours playing with. Maybe share it within your family and try and make sure you find who's better at it within your family. Have a league table. Is your mom better at it? Is your dad better at it? Is your brothers or sisters better at it? Cupping ball, a 16th and 17th century popular game, but like I said, probably originates much earlier in history. Now, just before we leave you, and you can have a relaxing Sunday lunch and a relaxation afternoon, please try and remember, next Friday we will be celebrating VE Day, Victory in Europe Day from 1945. We've got a lot of thanks to give to those people that served and those who made the ultimate sacrifice, those that died during the Second World War on VE Day. What we must also remember is that's not the end of the Second World War. That's the end of the war in Europe, and it did go on in the Far East for much longer, waiting until this summer, and we will be commemorating that in the summer also. Which means what we're going to do next week, in readiness for VE Day parties happening up and down the country, we're going to do a different thing each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all to do with preparations for a VE Day party. And what we would encourage is you to have your own VE Day party, and we will help you get ready for it. We have things to make, things to cook, and by Friday you'll have everything you need to have a fantastic VE Day party to say thank you and to remember those that died, ending the war in Europe. Anyway, on that note, stay in, have a fantastic Sunday. Make sure you don't argue when you get the cupping ball going, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. Bye.